But today, I'd like to speak on the matter of safety of residents in our environment, and that is the disposal or the delivering of newspapers to the ends of driveways that do not have any content of news in them. I won't read from my testimony. I'll let you guys have it. I'd just like to have you guys ask me any questions that you have. But the concern right now is I have a lot of complaints from residents that are getting these papers put at their end of their driveways. They travel down south for the winter time. It makes it look like their home is unoccupied. It is, and Representative Miller will agree with me on this, and it is an environmental issue because a lot of those bags that the papers are in end up in my community into the lake. We have, as of this morning, in talking with one of the companies who does deliver these to the houses, and 5 other communities got together and they've agreed to put it back on as a newspaper that is mailed out to people who want it. We have not seen that yet, but we would like some teeth because I do believe it's littering and it's causing many hardships for elderly people who are traveling south and worried about their homes because it really makes it look like they're not there.
Representative Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative. And I think when you and I had also spoken about this, we both noticed, too, that a lot of these papers were being delivered to homes that were for sale, and and there was no recourse or no way for people to find where it came from. And at least in one instance in my area, it was a newspaper that had previously been mailed, and maybe they found that that was getting too expensive and that it would be cheaper just to hire someone to give a copy to every single house, and they're just not that discriminating. So that might be the problem, too. Have you seen that, too?
Yes, I have. In fact, just before our last snowstorm that we had, hopefully our last one, I drove around the lake that I live on. There's about 450 residents, and there were about 75 homes that had these newspapers piled up at their end of their driveways. It's also a concern for me for the people who advertise in those newspapers because it's not getting to the people. So this paper in the past has always been put in your mailbox. It's always been put out there. I know the company tried to save money by doing it a different way, by saving the postage, but you know, it's our environment.
Representative Amon.
Yes. Again, we have talked about it, and I think all of the committee is sympathetic, and we were looking at it. The problem we ran into, as you well know, a few years ago, was the newspapers claiming that because they had 3 inches of news story on the front, that under First Amendment they were freedom of the press, we couldn't regulate them. I'm looking at I'd like to maybe do something under the littering ordinance, because anybody else that goes down the street throwing things out of their car would be charged with littering, and that's literally what we're talking about. After the last small snowstorm we had, the number of Hartford Current little blue bags that were laying in the along the side of the street was really disgusting in our community. So hope we're going to look at it, and hopefully the LCOs can come up with something that will hold up to a constitutional challenge with the newspapers. And a few groups like yours are definitely responding to community pressure. Unfortunately, some of the other newspapers are just saying, no, we don't have to do this.
Thank you, Senator, or Representative Amon. And excuse me.
Don't like the demotion.
2 things. It's gotten to the point where myself and mayors are getting certified letters from constituents. And the other interesting thing is driving in here on my nice ride on Route 44 from the country, I'm behind a truck the other day who's just going like this, throwing papers out, and I'm just like, I could show you pictures of that stuff happening, and it's got to stop. And if we're going to deliver a newspaper, the biggest thing is these people call and they ask for it to stop. They call the post office to stop their mail when they go away. They call the newspaper to stop this free paper coming out, but it doesn't stop. So if we can do something that if they get a phone call and they don't stop, we need to have some teeth to say, you know, cut it out.